When I started my YouTube channel in 2014, I wanted to grow an audience that was interested in the things I was passionate about, which is mainly self-development. But the self-doubt I felt was unlike anything I've ever experienced. And pushing past that was the biggest hurdle I had to overcome, and I had no idea how to do that, right? And because of that, I kept getting in my own way. But then in 2019, 2020, I discovered how to get out of my own way. And to my surprise, my audience started to grow. But not only that, my business began to thrive. My confidence improved. And I began to believe with unshakable faith in the vision I had for my life. So regardless if you have an interest in starting a YouTube channel or building a business or neither, because that's not what this video is about, getting out of your own way is still a hurdle you'll want to overcome so you can thrive at whatever it is you want to do. And today, I want to show you how to do that. The first thing I did back in 2019 was change my perspective toward self-doubt. The fact that we sometimes doubt ourselves or that others may doubt us is a part of being human. I truly believe that, and it's why I personally live by the notion that it's okay to be human. And trying to eliminate self-doubt is more work than it's worth, quite honestly. And for me, I realized that the odds of dialing my self-doubt back to zero were none. Yes, I worked on my mindset. Yes, I squashed my limiting beliefs. Yes, I out-wrestled my inner critic. And yes, I resisted allowing others to define or label me. And even after all of this effort, I still had small moments of self-doubt. This taught me that self-doubt isn't something you can eliminate. It's something you manage. Self-doubt is not something you can eliminate. It's something you manage. So rather than focusing my attention and energy on conquering self-doubt, which I stopped trying to do, I instead filtered my attention towards two things. Number one is skill acquisition. Am I learning the skills necessary to get better? Simple. And number two is unshakable faith. Do I believe that my effort and learnings are moving the needle? Am I making progress? Again, simple. If you find yourself facing a similar battle with self-doubt, then I challenge you to change your perspective as I did and focus on the two things that matter: skill acquisition and unshakable faith. Everything else will take care of itself. Speaking of having faith and believing in my efforts, one thing I did not have very much faith in was my ability to take a risk. One of the easiest ways to remain in your own way is to be risk adverse. And this is how I am by nature. I'm not a very big risk taker at all, but I've made it my running goal to take risk with wisdom. Now, that doesn't mean that I've become irrational to get out of my own way, right? That's not smart, nor am I suggesting for you to do that. However, here's what I am saying. Despite feeling ill-prepared for the obstacles ahead, challenging ourselves is the best thing we can do. And we do that by taking risk, but doing so with wisdom. The craziest life lesson I've learned since turning 30 at the beginning of this year is you become powerful when you realize that most risks are much worse in imagination than in reality. Whew, right? You become powerful when you realize that most risks are much worse in imagination than in reality. Now, it is my hope that you take this and learn from it much sooner than I did, because understanding this unlocks a certain level of self-confidence and clarity that is needed to truly get out of your own way. But not only that, to take action as well. You know, the most popular excuses given for why we shouldn't do something or are hesitant to take action and get started focus on fear of failure. What if things don't work out? Fear of judgment. You know, what will people think if they see me doing X, Y, and Z? And a lack of knowledge. I don't know how to do that or where to start. As it turns out, all three of these were key ingredients in my life, but I was determined to not let them get in my way nor keep me in my own way. The belief that helped me do that was this: don't let education or fear get in the way of getting started. I'm gonna say it again. Don't let education or fear get in the way of getting started. Here's something most people you know won't admit. When you see creators like myself, creating content, building online businesses, sharing our knowledge, even people you know in your personal life who may be doing something similar. None of us are doing this perfectly. We're figuring it out and learning as we go. And I can tell you now that I've learned more about living a minimalist lifestyle, growing a YouTube channel, and building a business by doing those things than I have from any book I've read or video I've watched. Here's the lesson to take away from this. Pull the trigger and learn as you go. If you enjoyed this conversation, my friend, consider signing up for my newsletter. Every week, I unpack topics like this one and email them directly to you. Plus, I share other things that I find interesting and believe you will find value in as well. If you're interested in joining this growing community, which I hope you are, I'll leave a link below. Keep growing, keep learning, and do me a favor. Better yet, do yourself a favor. Get out of your own way. Seriously. I see so much potential in you. See you in the next one. Peace.